Sharing your story, lighting up tomorrow, giving hope to every story. Every voice matters, every dream can soar. SMG.
A part of the National Black Unity News, and they have ventured out into a new idea and concept that we're bringing as far as movies and films and all that good stuff there. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to share with you some of the interesting things that they're doing. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Morning.
Smitty. Morning, sir.
Yes. And Mr. Murphy, you want to take the lead and the charge on this here to tell our listening audience what's in store?
Well, I can say this, as Brother Smitty, Big Brother, I like to call him, alluded to that Wayne and I has been blessed to do a fantastic documentary, a historical documentary about Black Baltimore during the 1950s until the 1980s. And it's so unique because it tells our story, and it's by us and it's for us. And the unique thing is the majority of these stories has not been told to us. It has not even been told to myself because I lived during that area, and not because I wasn't aware, because they just didn't put it in books, they didn't flash it all over the place. People just did what they did back in them days. But at the same time, they were historical incidents. The park sausages, the politicians, the community activists, the publications, the sports figures. I mean, man, we had some great and wonderful people back then, but the thing about it is we have some great and wonderful people today. And we're preparing our young people for being great people tomorrow. So this has been such a unique journey. Like I said, I am so pleased and so honored to be a part of this, as I am being a part of this broadcast right now. See, this is a powerful thing. Media. Somebody want to share our story because we share somebody else's story, and now they want to share our story. So it's a powerful thing. It's reciprocal, as they say. Back to you, Smith.
Yeah, what is the title of the story?
Well, we call it Black Baltimore during the 1950s until the 1980s. It was nothing unique about the name. It's just what it was. How it's keeping it real. We were talking about Black Baltimore during that time period. So
Okay.
that's the name. We never even talked about what the name was going to be. We just called it that, and that's what it is.
Well, what do you take from the audience that will I would say take away from after watching this movie?
Oh, wow. This is what they say. One of the things that take away, first of all, when Wayne and I watched, as we finally fused everything together, we were somewhat impressed ourselves. Because, like I said, it was a journey for us. But when we showed this thing to a few people, they was extremely impressed. But then we had a whole different experience when we showed it at the Pikes Theater. We saw it on the big screen.
Oh, wonderful.
And man,
Jeez.
it almost like, it just took it to another level. But afterwards, as the people would departed from the theater, they spoke to us. Not only did they enjoy it, they said it was so informative. And they, just like they said, I did not know all of this went on around me. And just like they were smiling and everything else, because they too now are proud Black Baltimoreans. Because, like I say, those hidden gems was hidden from us, even though they was in plain sight. But nobody took the time because it was too. I guess back in them days, you had to have a lot of equipment, a lot of money,
Right.
to do that kind of documentaries and stuff like that. And so people just live their life normally. But then again, that's our normal being. But we allow other media to portray us differently. And the psychological damages that has been done to us, we start to believe those things because we had nothing to buffer with. But the people, getting back to your original question, not only did they enjoy it at the Pikes Theater, we just had a showing a week ago, past Saturday. And this was truly, we had a standing room only.
Wow.
And when we
Was.
walked up to the front of that room, the actions speak louder than words. They gave us a standing ovation.
Well, that's
Smiles on
wonderful.
their face, clapping, man.
Yes.
It
Right.
was good.
Wonderful. Well, I know you talked about the Pikes Theater, and a lot of people are not familiar, I would say, about the Pikes Theater in Baltimore. Could you tell us who owns the Pike Theater and where's the location of the Pike Theater?
Yes, actually, it's a gentleman by the name of Michael Eugene Johnson. And Michael Eugene just happened to be one of my co-founders of a group called Black Men Unifying Black Men. And a guy named Bill Gooden brought five other brothers together, and we've been running that thing for 11 years. And we
Wonderful.
have hosted events and everything like that. But Mike and I go a long way back. You know, he was doing theaters way back in the day. And he has evolved of all of these years. He come back full circle and open up this theater. And it's a powerful theater. It's at 941 Reisterstown Road in Pikesville, Maryland. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a luxurious theater. It's a small theater, but it's very. If you sit there, you seated very comfortably, you know.
Wow.
and
Jeez.
and it only holds about 80 people. But I'm gonna tell you, it has two theater rooms, but it's intimate. You know, you're comfortable. The atmosphere is great, and so you know, hats off to Michael Johnson at the Pikes Theater.
Wonderful. And while I'm going to give you just a little break there, I'm going to try to get Mr. Wayne Randall because I know he has some great things he'd like to share with us. And Mr. Randall, before I bring you in, what is this film important? Why is this film important right now?
Oh, it's extremely important right now because politically, culturally, what's going on in the country with our Black history being eradicated and taken out of the schools, out of the museums, out of the libraries intentionally. So our young people that are coming up won't know about the great legacy of the shoulders that they stand on. You know, the people who were the court officers, lawyers, people who were doctors, people who were inventors, even people who were athletes, great athletes, musicians, teachers, all of these people, this information will be generally found in a library, correct? Or should be in a school curriculum. But these curriculums, unless you're probably going to, you know, some private school, and I'm sure their curriculum is totally different from a public school, you're going to be getting a different type of teaching altogether. And our young people don't, I mean, just to see this, a lot of people go, wait, why are you guys just showing it to, we're not just trying to show it to older people.
Right.
We eventually want to get it to the universities when, you know, the 17, 18, 20-year-olds are there. So they can see it because I don't know what they're teaching them in the universities. Curriculums are by design. Who designs the curriculum and what you're going to learn?
Mm-hmm.
But we know for sure the powers that be are definitely erasing our history. For example, the lady when the new administration changed, I believe she was the director of copyright office, one of those libraries in D.C. She was director of something over there.
Library Congress.
Yeah, they got rid of her. This was by design. What did the woman do? She was there for what, almost 30 years. I would think she was probably doing an exemplary job, but they got rid of her.
Gee.
Even heads of state, people in DOD holding high positions have to be because of their color. It's a waste of money paying those people those salaries. Just got rid of them for no reason. You went into early retirement, even if, you know, it's involuntary, even if you weren't ready for it. So, no, this movie, and you let the people see this movie, here it is.
Right.
Black
Black
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Black Baltimore. And
Wow.
Black Baltimore represents us, where we came from, where we are, where we're going. See that, people? This is all of us. This is our lineage. And like David said, it's not so much about the name, it's really about the journey, where we're going from, is where we're going to evolve. But the awareness that we want these young people to know, you have greatness in you, and you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. And we know a lot of things happen by association. If you all would mix up with the wrong group of people, you can get into some nefarious behavior, and you can be off the tracks. But you could have greatness in you to be a writer or something else. But you just have to get mixed up with the wrong people. But hopefully this will shed a different perspective on Baltimore itself, because it's been a lot of egregious things have been said about Baltimore being rat infested. They wouldn't walk through here, they wouldn't come through here, wouldn't even visit here. And we know who said that. We're not even going to even say that person's name, because on this forum like that, we're not going to lift this person up. This is about us.
So, Mr.
Back to you
Randall,
guys.
what was the biggest challenge in making this movie?
No, I think I like to go back to something we did last night when we did our other tape, like David had said, was trying to find pertinent information that happened during those annals of time through the 50s and the 80s that wasn't documented, wasn't even in the library. When we sat down with Rosa Pryor last summer, 2025, and she's written 3 books or so, she said she couldn't even find information. When I say information, I'm talking about positive information about us as Black people have done and achieved. Inventions, teachers, whatever it was she was looking for, even the entertainers, who wrote what, who did what. She could not find this information, and she was frustrated. And we know, let's go back to what we said again, this is by design. This by design. Libraries supposed to hold this information. Libraries supposed to hold it. So that was a very big challenge. And I had to, give kudos to David. I mean, he did some due diligence on doing a deep, as they would say, the DOD, he did a deep dive. I mean, David was finding some information. We were looking some stuff up, and he said, wait, no, I found this. I went, wow. I didn't even know these people did that. So just by doing that deep dive, but that's what we were supposed to do. I believe we were ordained to do this. As I say, and I always say, see my hand, where perseverance and persistence meets at that intersection, expect something beautiful to happen. Expect something beautiful to come out of it, So that was the largest challenge right there.
And I'll take that same question back to Mr. Murphy, if I may,
Yeah.
because I know both of you have experienced different portions of this movie, and it has been hard work that both of you have put out. So I'm wondering, and sharing the overhaul coming together to make this movie, I'm more sure both of you had different ideas. So, Mr. Murphy, the same question that I just asked Mr. Randall. What were some of the challenges in making this movie?
Well, one of the first challenges is, first of all, we had lack of resources. That's why we had to dig deep. And the other thing is, uh, Wayne has a lot of things that he does to live, to pay rent and everything, and so do I. I publish as you can see behind me, I publish a newspaper. That's full time right there.
And the
So
name of that newspaper?
the National Black Unity News.
Okay. How
And
long
I'm
has it been
involved,
around?
since about 10 years, since 2017. But the
Yeah.
thing is, not only that, as I mentioned earlier, I belong to this group called Black Men Unified Black Men, our social club. So I'm here, there, and everywhere. And,
Everywhere.
and when I get up in the morning, I go to bed at night, seems like it's not enough time in the day. And here we go. This documentary. Now, there's one more little thing on the bucket list that has to be done. It had to be done. And so that's why we took the time, because like Wayne said, when you are ordained or called to do something, even if you don't want to do it, sometimes it weighs so heavily on you that you have to do it. You don't have to, but if your heart is in the right place, and you understand your calling sometimes, then you know who's calling you, and you know why it needs to be done. And so Wayne and I, we agreed to do it with our own blood, sweat, and tears, and our talents that we had, the talent that we had at the time, because we were building this talent up over the years. And we didn't think about it couldn't be done. We already done some things. So, we just said, let's just do it. And as we was, some of the challenge, like I say, was time, money, controlling schedules and stuff like this. So, we get up 3 hours in the morning and we share this and share that. Then we have to fuse this and do that. People don't know. I'm gonna just put it this way. Most people probably understand this, that if you ever watch a TV show in a movie, do you know how many hours, how many takes they had to do just to make one movie, and they cut that thing down to 90 minutes? They had about 80 hours of shootings, and they had to condense it down to an hour, an hour and a half. But we had to do the same thing too. And so people don't realize. So when you see something like that, it just go quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it took a lot of people. You know how many people, when you see those credits in movies, how many people and organizations took? Well, through the grace and mercy of God, it took two brothers, Wayne and I. We did the job of all of those people. And we had to be a blessed people to even consider doing something. But yet, that's the power of Black people. When we are committed to doing something. See, that's why I try. This is the whole message. Like Wayne just finished saying, all things are possible, man. When you put your mind together, especially with just one person, then we got two people, that's synergy. And it is written, they say, when two or three are gathered in God's name, all things are possible. Well, me and Wayne are God-fearing men, and we obeyed the call, but guess what? We take some of the credit, but God, we give it all to God, because it's about us, man. The beautiful thing about this thing is about you, Smitty. You and I have gotten on this phone. We talk about Santana before we know. The first time we spent a couple of hours.
We didn't even know that both of us was from Santana. And it's one of the inspirational things that happens when you came from out of Sandtown. But I have a good question to ask you. How did you choose the cast and the locations? Because we both came from Sandtown, and you had to really be on the job to make sure that you get the right people to be in the movie, and also the locations. That's very important in the Sandtown area.
Oh well, that's come with time and experience. Because I had the privilege just from being out of Sandtown. Had the privilege of going to the Police Boys Club.
Wow.
I had the privilege of getting on that truck going all the way to East Baltimore and swimming at the Chick Web Center. I had the privilege as a little boy, as my big sister took me down to the Royal Theater to see James Brown.
Oh, my
I had the privilege. I did right off. I used to watch the people how they dressed back in the day. Jeez. Man, so I sit there front row, and I seen these kind of things. And I used to sell the newspaper. I used to go to lawyers' houses and get them newspapers right in the neighborhood. Doctors' office. I mean, all this was right in the hood, Black stores. And so, so I knew it was there, but, I never just took the time and fused everything together. So, even by my own experience, but then at the same time, because I was aware of something, but I wasn't aware of everything. And so that's how it all came together, because I lived it, and I knew of some of it. I heard of some of these things. But man, when we took that deep dive and all this stuff started coming out, to, some of the people I didn't even know. I didn't even know Curly was from Baltimore, from the Harlem Globetrotters. I had no clue. And so many, the great entertainers. Man, we was the stuff back in the day. I mean, man, we had it going on. The Black Hospital. I went to that hospital. 2 or 3 of my family members was born there.
Gee.
So that's, but for those who are old enough to remember, when you listen to old music, it takes you back in the day. It takes you place something you forgot all about. It just takes you there when you listen to certain type of music. Well, that's what like it was for me, going to this thing, dealing with all these different people in different aspects. It was like taking me back in time. And it was, it was blood, sweat, and tears, but it was such an honor. It was such a privilege to know, man. And like I tell you, I am proud to be a Black Baltimorean. That's because of this documentary. I was like everybody else believed the wire, the corner, and all that other stuff they would say. And the other folks used to say about us. You know what they said? They're still saying about us.
Right.
And we was believing that kind of stuff because we had nothing to put up against it. But now we do. And I know we've been lied to all my life. We know we've been lied to, but now even more so. So now, again, Smitty, man, I'm so proud. And why I say I had to do this, I'm getting old. I have to thank you, sir. Because you see, sometimes I have to say this. See, sometimes just in the conversation, and we had this conversation before the documentary came up.
That's right, we sure did.
And me and you went, like I said, we went through the alleyways, the great, the tree, we went everywhere. And see, it's all that stuff triggers. When you start doing all that stuff, start triggering in your head, and all this stuff start coming. So you had a part in that as well.
Yes.
Because I had forgotten until we had that. I had forgotten about some of them things, because that's been so long ago. So that's why, things like this happen. God prepares you. He takes you on a journey. He uses all types of people that come into your life. Like you said, those people, the Billy Murphys and the Hathaways. Man, me and Wayne went up in that elevator. The God took us to a special elevator. Took us all the way up to the top.
The 30th floor. The 30th floor.
Penthouse. He had a black man on a Cherry Hill. A whole office on the whole entire floor up there. Looking out over the city. We go to Hathaway House. We sitting in the school that Thurgood Marshall went to.
Oh my goodness.
He was in the basement where he had to read that book, the law books and stuff like that, And I'm sitting up there, again, going to that place. I'm familiar. That's right near the Providence Hospital. And I'm sitting up there and remember, I said, my uncles and aunts probably went to that same school, sit at these same desks, because he had all that in there. So those are kind of things that trigger stuff to come out to the conclusion we came up with this documentary. It takes a village.
Yes.
Well, we had the Wire film from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when we looked at the Wire, we saw Baltimore at an undesirable point. With this movie that you guys have, Black Baltimore, how can this movie help inspire positive change in Baltimore?
I think if to say a few words about it, this movie is coming from a different perspective than the Wire or Homicide. This is more from not so much an entertainment perspective, but a cultural, educational perspective. Talking to you about more or less about the contributions the Black people made during those times with the adversity that they had against them back then. And they still were able to overcome. That's what that was about. The challenges they had, segregation, and you had segregation, and then you had that going on. All of these things going on, and they still overcame. You had people who became inventors, doctors, you had the lawyers, you had all these people. You had the people with Park Sausages, you had the Murphys, you had the people who did the Afro. Mm-hmm. The list just goes on, the lineage goes on and on, with more adversity than we have now. But that's why I said this is more coming from more of an educational perspective. So when people look at it, this is not an action movie or something. This is an educational. It preserves where we came from and who we were and how they did it through all of that. That's what you want to get from it, and to come out of it going, I didn't even know we did that. Oh, we did that? Through those times and those adversities, and still were able to become a trailblazers. And then it took two people like David and I to let's resurrect what happened and put this in a movie, put this in a film.
Wonderful.
So the masses and the young people coming up can get a chance to see this through this exhibition,
Yes,
through this
Baltimore.
here, Black Baltimore. This is not The Wire, it's not Home, not taking anything from those films, but this is just coming from an educational perspective, that's all. That
So, Mr.
Black
Randall,
people, we're not just thugs, we're not just pimps, we don't just do that. We're business people, we're lawyers, we're doctors, we're thinkers, we're storytellers, we're directors, we're producers, we're artists. We're all of these things. And this movie here puts that spin on it, where you fall in where you fall in at. And that's what this movie does. I mean, when they told us to come up in the front of this last viewing, I generally do get a bit emotional. And I mean, it was moving. These people were literally clapping. Yeah, clapping about it. And I mean, this, like I said, this is from an educational perspective. So, even in people's souls, they probably felt, oh, I didn't know that. Or their grandparents lived through that. But to have it all right in the front of you condensed, and it just ran scene after scene for them to see it. Because the way it's broken down, it lets you know when you're going into the next decade, for the people who have or haven't seen it. So then they kind of expected anticipation. What's going to happen in the 60s? What's going to happen in the 70s until we got to the 80s? So, yeah, this is something. This is a must see for those who haven't seen it, and we want to get it to as many of the masses that will see it, hopefully through the universities, the arena players soon, and several of the HBCUs too. So,
well, gentlemen,
back to you guys.
if I can, Mr. Wayne, as we know,
Sure.
this movie will be reaching all states. We're hoping that they will pick this movie up and be in the movie theaters, be in the churches, wherever. But one of the things that sticks in my mind, what would you like viewers outside of Baltimore to understand about the city of Baltimore?
Well, let me
this movie.
No, you're good, David.
Yeah, let me just say this, man. Look, I have a large family. 3 left on my wife's side, my father's side, and my mother's side. Hundreds of us that I'm aware, that I know, Facebook friends. But every time we speak about Baltimore, the first thing come to their mind is the wire in the corner. That's what they perceive us to be. All over this country, even with people I don't know. When I do a newspaper, I deal with people all over the world. Even people from other countries. You from both. They take a gas. That's what they say. That's the power of media. He can portray stuff on you. He can make you a king one day and make you a villain the next day. Ask Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, all of them. I don't care how well they did. That media turned them into demons. And so that's the power of media. But I just wanted to throw this in here too. What people from all around the world will see now is a new trajectory of Baltimore. Even they will be proud of who we are and what we've done. We have made so many contributions from out of Baltimore that made their lives better. I don't care what state they came from. Our doctors went all over the country, come from out of Providence. We had procedures that came from out of Baltimore that they still using them till this day. And so, and the stuff we did, we had a first Black company that went public, Park Sergeant, in the entire country, out of Baltimore. See, people don't know these things. And when they see our true story, when they see our true stories, they're going to come back to Baltimore, and because now they're going to know that they've been told a lie. And guess what they're going to also do? They're going to look at their own history and know that they've been lied to too. And so, so this thing is a game changer. This thing going to change Black people not only in the United States, but all over the world, because they're getting the same information. They getting stuff like the Jeffersons and all them old television shows be acting a fool sometimes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's what they see, and that's what they believe about us.
Yeah.
That's why you see people come from Africa, they kind of start thinking, looking down on us, when they should be celebrating us out of Baltimore.
That's what
Because
they
we
should.
did some things, man, that was in glass ceiling. First justice in the Supreme Court
Come
out of
on.
Baltimore. Come on, man.
Isn't that something? Come on.
We did here, man. Come on. And guess what? I'm just say this because I'm getting excited again. I do. But guess what? When you were talking about those people, what the people felt.
Yeah.
I'm very observed. They was giving a standing ovation. You know what I saw? I saw for the first time too, they had pride of who they were. Because a lot of them people came from Baltimore.
Okay.
And they had pride. Oh, I didn't know this about me, about us. And they had, they was, it's
Yes.
a powerful
Yeah.
thing, man. I'm going to send it back to you. You might go ahead.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you could feel it. You could feel the energy. It was like they were proud that we put this project together so they could see the reflection of themselves.
That's right.
We just have to be
sold the whole area out over there on the
Oh
east
yeah, I
side.
mean it was standing room only.
Standing room only.
We felt it felt a little bad people standing. And then people were even coming to the door that didn't even have a ticket. Can I buy a ticket? They said, yes, you can. You can buy a ticket. They bought the ticket right there. Go right on in. It was a big forum area. Go right on in. But the picture itself, it was moving. Just as David said, it's one thing to be lied to, but it's another thing to hear the truth. Not the truth.
Yes.
The truth is going to set you free. When they lay you out and you leave this planet and you go on, you want to know the truth. Even the truth is going to set you free yourself. Who is your God? Who do you live? Who do you believe in? How are you doing what you do? You need to know the truth about who you are. What is your purpose to do? And we saw people decades before us that were purposed to do what they were doing. And look, it aligned David and I to do what we're doing.
That's right.
The mantle came to us and they said, here's the baton, and we ran with it. We ran with it. And we're going to keep running with it. As long as we have breath in our body, we're just going to keep doing it because it's nothing like standing on the truth. We're not telling any lies here. And,
So we think of the great job.
we might rattle some cages. Some people might not like what we're doing. But, if you feel affected or convicted, well, you need to stop lying. Because we are putting out the truth. Because this could be in any metropolitan city, any black metropolitan, Detroit, New York, California, wherever. All of these places, these stereotypes have been passed down on us. But
So,
with
Mr. Randall, will we be able to look for furthermore movies from you and Mr. Murphy?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is not the end of it then.
No, we have many films inside of us. As they say, I know you got a book or two in it, so we got many stories to tell. Many stories to tell. We told many stories even before this one, So we told many stories before this one. It just happens to be that this one is it's sacred. This one kind of really hits home. I think it's really because the times that we're living in, and we can see that the powers that be are trying to depress our lineage, depress our contribution as to what we did in society. The guy who came up with the signal lights, his name was Morgan, back in the 1920s, he saw a bad accident.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up with the signal lights. Signal lights are still in place to this day. Signal lights are still in green for go, yellow for caution, and red to stop. We have to stop the chaos. And the signal lights are used all around the world. All around the world, And who would have known a black man put that together?
Well, it's no question that when we look at Black Baltimore, it just takes us back to the time when people were united. And you guys have done a wonderful job to bring this convenient series of what took place back in the day because they want us to forget out what happened back in the day. But
Yes.
it's instilled in us.
Yes.
And you guys took upon yourself to make a movie so that people can come in and see how Baltimore was back in the 80s, 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I think that's real wonderful. Is there any other things that you would like for our listening audience to know in reference to Black Baltimore?
Yes, there's one thing. Now, this listen. It's words are words. Y'all keep mentioning movies, but this is considered what they call a documentary, and it's part of a movie, of course. But at the same time, what people need to know is this: if you don't know where you've been, it's going to be difficult to find out where you're going. And when you know that you've been sold a bill of goods from your educational systems, from society, saying you're not this and you're not that, and then you find out that you are this and you are that, and then you feel kind of hurt, and because people will subject this kind of stuff to you to hurt you, to harm you, and prepare places like jails and prisons for our babies based on a lie. And see, now I know better, and people have seen this document. And when our children, when we start going to these schools and everything else, when these children see their true story or where they really come from, even beyond slavery, which came to Queen, how that we see, people hear that, but I'm talking about modern day time. These are some of the things that we did after slavery. I'm talking about this is what we did 40, 50 years ago, 60 years, 70 years ago. And we got people. See, the beauty about what we done, the way we did it is, we still got people like Smitty around who can verify the stories, who can even tell the story. And see, when you see it, it's not me and Wayne just telling. Now, when this documentary come out in the 4-part series, there's going to be a host of Black men and women sharing their stories from that story back in the day who lived it. And so when you see your aunts and uncles and cousins, they're going to be in these films, your great uncles and great aunts and grandmothers telling you the real story. Wonderful. And do you know, because I'm a proud Black Baltimore, do you know what that would do with our children? Gee. How proud they're going to be. See, when they know who they are, so they know ain't no glass ceiling now. That's for sure. That stuff, and they're going to know that listen, I said how powerful media is. Do you know what they're doing to our children with the music, with the film, even the games they play, telling us? Okay, all of this stuff going into their head. And you wonder why our children act the way they do today. Because this is what they're being fed. But if we feed them a different type of diet, a true diet that's healthy for them, man, with the truth about who we are and what we're doing, that's going to change the whole game. And they're going to be upset too. Yes. Because they know they've been lied to. They've been duped. They've been played, as they say. They want to know it. And so now it's once you know that you play, and that's why they do this to us. Remember, Smitty, you back in, you older than I am. Remember the old saying used to be, don't hip a lame to the games. Sure. Because if you do, he'll come back and overtake you. That's right. And that's what they're doing to us. They won't help us to who we are. That's but they made one big mistake. They call it technology, but they let out the cat out the box, so to speak. When they did this AI stuff, a lot of people don't like it, this, that. But see, their secrets are being revealed now. The stuff they try to hide from us are being revealed now. See, they meant it for good, but see, God has a way of turning things back on you. That's right. And you think you're being slick now, but now the tables are being turned. Now you go in there and ask about our real history. And that stuff will go back and say a Black man did this, black, it's going to tell you the real story now. There you go. And that's why Congress is fighting tooth and nail. That's right. To that.
They can't run from the truth, right?
Yes, they try to put legislation in, try to stop this thing, because them Negroes will be woken up. If they wake up that sleeping giant, which we are. Yes. We are. That's why they invite everybody all over the world, give them a break. For one thing, all the people in the world put their necks on our piece on our neck, because they all know, all of them know if the black man and women rise up, the game going to change economically and everything else. They did it through affirmative action. They let our heads get into the door. What happened? We became CEOs and heads of this.
Yep, do that.
What happened?
See what
You
happens?
know, the United States see what could happen.
It's like the old days when our parents would say, give them enough rope so that they can hang themselves.
Yes, that's exactly what they
See
did.
that? See that?
That's exactly what they did. They get yes, sir.
It's no fun when the rabbits got the gun. See that? Yeah, that's true. And what did they say? That verse in the Bible says the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Well,
I'll always kind of fool with that verse and go, what does that mean? What does that mean? And many people give many interpretations of it. But yeah, we've been last for a long time. See, but this is going to help move us into the forefront, which I really believe we were always in the front anyway. We just had somebody's foot on our neck or somebody trying to push us back. But yeah, it's something to really think about. But it's enamoring to be in this position, and I mean, it's quite an honor, you know, Smitty, to be on your publication, you know, the media group here, to be able to tell this with my partner David, and we're just, trust me, we're just overjoyed, man. I mean,
hey, I'm just as much overjoyed as you are, Wayne,
really.
because you have worked with me hand and foot. I got to know you through David,
No,
and
yeah.
all I can say is good things about you. You visit me
Thank you,
here.
sir.
You helped me. David has helped me so many times. You know, even with the radio show, David, both of you have been on the radio show, and it's just been a warming friendship because a lot of times we just don't have people we can reach out to, or we don't know the people we can reach out to.
Yes, yeah.
But you guys have been you have committed yourself, and I can just feel the friendship every time we're together. You know, it's like a protective bond over you when you're walking. You say, well, you got a friend that you can trust, you know. And
Right.
these people today we can trust, you know. We don't know a lot of people. We know what we see them, but actually really getting to know that person, we really don't know the person.
Sure.
With you guys, with this movie of bringing, well, let me go back to where David said it was a documentary.
Yes.
With this documentary, it will inspire people to let them know how valuable Baltimore was. And not only that, we lived it. There's still people here who really live
That's right.
what has taken place in
Yes.
this documentary. And that's vital because most of the time we see things and nobody's around to tell it. You know?
That's right.
Oh,
You own it.
yeah. Nobody's there to confirm it. That this happened, this date, who did it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
the story can be told by us as well as we still have some people like Rosa Pryor. We have Miss Faye Braley. I can't say the other word. Her name is Toriani.
Yes,
Alice Toriente. Yeah.
Alice Toriani.
Toriente.
I
Yeah.
can never get that word out real quick with her.
I thought it was French myself.
Yeah, but they are people. Well, she was in New York. You know, her
Yeah.
father is Senator Troy Braley.
right.
Yeah.
And I happened to be on the team at that time when we voted. You have to get on a ticket with a senator in order to get elected. I ran for state central committee. But it was nice, you know. In my younger days, I just wandered into it, and I was happy that I did.
See, like I say, that's the beauty. What you just said. See, these are the stories that need to be told. See, it's more to the same. People see us on the surface, see us one way, but if they peel back them layers, man, and see
Yeah.
our yesterday, the experiences that we had in life, man, it's a saying, and which is true. Even
Well,
they say when
gentlemen,
the
I know
elder,
we're going to do some more things to reach out to our community, so it doesn't stop right here.
no, this is the beginning. They say when the elder dies, the whole library dies with them. You know, and so we got to keep them libraries alive. Keep them
That's
telling,
for sure.
keep telling our story. And guess what? there's so many things that had came out this documentary. I just want to know there's a website that I'm partnering with this guy named Caesar. It's called Honored Ancestors. Now we can tell our story. We can put out, it's pretty much almost free. You can put your story in there. For
No.
future generations can hear your story, your family story, and everything else. So we won't have no more excuse to telling our truths. And so God has opened up the floodgate now. And so, and so again, all we have to do is enter in. For those of you who are seniors, who are elders, as we call them, tell your story. It's your fight to your children. To your children, they need to know who you are, what you stood for, why you did the things you do, and they find out most of the time why they do the things they do. So that DNA is a powerful, powerful thing.
Yeah. And I want to say, Smitty, we've started back recording, and we're looking for those hidden gems, those matriarchs, those patriarchs. We're looking for those. We started recording, probably got maybe a good 7 people already recorded. So anybody chiming in on this, any of those elders don't mind getting in front of the camera, we will come to their location, sit down and hear what they have to say about these decades and what they can recall. We're documented, and when we work the new part of what we're going to do, they will be in the film. So,
hey man, I'm looking at that piece of equipment that you got right on the side of you. I want to be just like you one day. That beautiful camera. I just want to be just like you.
We must be talking about this one here.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I was looking at that camera for a long time, and I came up with something like this. I hope you can see it.
Okay, yeah. I have like
fact,
4 or 5 cameras in there, but
I have 2 of them. And one of them I didn't even know I had. And I said, hey, I'm trying to catch up with Wayne just a little.
Oh, it's a few things I got my eyes on, but I just have to be patient and wait, But yeah,
you pass them on down, and I'll pull the checkbook out, and I'll start where you started at. That way, there you can go to the next level, because at the end of the day, we're all sharing contents and what we do.
Oh yeah, we definitely do that. That we do, that's definitely do. Thank you, Smitty. Really, man.
Well, thank you guys.
Allow David and I to even come on here and talk to you about Black Baltimore. I have to show it.
Yes, Black
Baltimore. For anybody who didn't see it, Black Baltimore, the documentary. David said this is a documentary.
Yes. A beautiful documentary of what's taking place in Baltimore. Today we have with us Mr. David Murphy, Mr. Wayne Randall, the Black National. Well, I always say Black because that's what I'm thinking about at all times after looking at this documentary. But it's the National Black Unity News, and you guys have moved forward to now making a document.
Yes, we have.
So, I mean, you guys are making Baltimore shine.
But it always shined. It's just that they didn't tell us it was shining. They said
they said it was a shine. They said it even had a charm.
Like I say, but they know now. They will know. Long we have people like you sharing the story. See, we laid the foundation. See, now you taking it and building upon it. And see, that's how the village works, the network works. And so, Smitty, again, I truly appreciate this, not only for what you're doing on this broadcast, but on your radio broadcast, and for the work you have done yesterday, today, and continue to do. And so you're an elder in the community, and I must say, and I'm proud to say, that Smitty will be featured in the upcoming full documentary. So
we got his recording. Yeah,
my heart is still beating.
Yeah, we got your recording. That was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes, it was. It was a couple weeks ago, and I was very happy. I was very happy because people are not really seeing some of the good work that's being taken place. We hear a lot of bad things, but there's some good things, and we never hear of the good things. So the reason why I decided to have Smith Media, because you guys were already doing the newspaper, I said it would be good if I could do something to help so that we can all just enjoy the benefit of what we do when we do what we do. So now the sky's the limit, and we can
That's right.
almost do anything that we need to do as far as bringing information and resources to our community and our people. And the
Yes.
wonderful thing about it is this is just not a Baltimore information resources. We're able to reach a lot of people throughout the USA, and
Oh,
that's very important.
that right there, that's great. The tentacles out. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Because once you put in the web address, it takes you right wherever you want to be. You can be in any state and look
That's
at
right.
what we have, any part of the country, and look at what we're doing. And that's magnificent because a lot of times I was just thinking of different other medias. Some of them, they only have it where you got to turn to that channel.
Yeah.
And if you
Hmm.
can't get that channel, then you're iced out. But with us, we're able to go wherever you are.
That's right.
God bless
Big
us.
difference. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be placing a phone call to you right after this video, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with you on this wonderful occasion.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Smitty. Have a good day,
God
sir.
bless you. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sharing your story, lighting up tomorrow, giving hope to every story. Every voice matters, every dream can soar. SMG.